Beloved, hear this now. This is not just another message. This is a divine summons. We stand on the threshold of a moment that will never come again. Heaven is watching. The clock is ticking. A line is being drawn in the sand before July 1, 2025. The question is not, will God move? The question is, will you stand as the chosen when he does? Beloved, understand this with all the weight of heaven pressing upon your soul. This is not an ordinary hour we stand in. This is not another date on a calendar to be forgotten as the days roll by like waves on the shore. No, this is an appointed time, a prophetic window opened by the hand of the Almighty himself. It is an hour marked by urgency, a holy alarm sounding in the Spirit for all who have ears to hear. Before July 1st, 2025, something must shift inside of you, for the sands of time are slipping swiftly through the hourglass, and what you do now will echo into eternity. The world sleeps, but the watchman must not. The enemy wants you lulled into complacency, comfort, and distraction. He wants you scrolling, drifting, and forgetting who you are. But the Spirit says, wake up, O sleeper, rise from the dead, and Christ will shine on you. This is your moment to recognize the signs of the times. Look around. Can you not see it? The world is trembling. Nations rage. Darkness advances boldly. But greater than the darkness is the light that burns within the chosen ones who stand awake and alert. If you have breath in your lungs, it is because heaven has an assignment that only you can fulfill. You were not born in the days of Moses, nor in the days of Paul. You were born for now, for this very hour, because God has placed something inside you that the world needs now. There is no more time to waste. There is no more room for apathy. The Lord is calling his remnant to rise in urgency, to pray like never before, to stand like never before, to proclaim truth like never before. Think of Nehemiah standing at the broken walls of Jerusalem. The city lay in ruin, its people scattered and hopeless. He could have wept and walked away. He could have said, it's too late, the walls are too broken. But Nehemiah heard the cry of heaven that said, rebuild. Now is the time. And with urgency, he rallied the people, stone by stone, sword in one hand, trowel in the other. Though opposition rose, he did not waver. Because he moved in God's appointed hour, what was in ruins stood strong again. So it must be with you. You may see broken places in your life, in your family, in your nation. Do not let the enemy whisper, there is time to spare. No, beloved, the time is now. There is an urgency in the Spirit that says, if not now, then when? If not you, then who? Heaven is waiting for you to rise, watch, and build. Before July 1st, 2025, may you be one who heard the call, recognized the hour, and moved with holy urgency. For when you do, you will see the walls restored, the gates lifted, and the glory of God revealed through your life. May it be so. Beloved, once you awaken to the urgency of the hour, you must then awaken to the truth of who you are in this hour. You are not just another face in the crowd, not a voice lost in the noise of this world. You are the chosen, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, set apart by the hand of the Almighty before the foundations of the earth were laid. Heaven looked across all of time and chose you to stand in this generation, to carry the flame when so many let it die. You may feel unworthy, unqualified, or too broken, but hear this now. God does not choose the qualified, he qualifies the chosen. And you, precious child of the Most High, are chosen. When you know who you are, you stop bowing to fear and intimidation. The world will try to name you according to its standards. Failure, mistake, too far gone. But heaven calls you beloved, redeemed, more than a conqueror. The enemy wants you to forget this. He wants you so tangled in your past, your shame, and your weakness, that you never stand in the authority that has been given to you. But the cross of Christ settled this once and for all. You are a new creation, clothed in righteousness, seated with Christ in heavenly places. You are not meant to blend in. The darker the world grows, the brighter you must shine. You are the remnant, the seed that survives the fire, the root that endures the storm. Many may fall away, hearts may grow cold, truth may be traded for lies, but the chosen ones remain. They stand when others kneel to idols. They speak when others are silent. They love when the world turns to hate. Think of Daniel, carried off to Babylon, a stranger in a pagan land. They changed his name. They dressed him in foreign robes. They tried to feed him the king's delicacies and drown out his identity. But Daniel knew who he was. He resolved in his heart that he would not defile himself. He refused to bow to the golden image when the trumpet sounded. He prayed when it became a crime to do so. And when he was thrown into the lion's den, he did not tremble, because he knew that the one who chose him would shut the mouths of lions and make kings marvel. So it must be with you. You may feel outnumbered, misunderstood, and ridiculed for standing for righteousness, but the one who called you has set you apart. You are the voice crying in the wilderness, the lamp on a hill that cannot be hidden. Your identity is not in your past mistakes or your present struggles. Your identity is sealed in the blood of the Lamb. Before July 1, 2025, stand in that identity. Stand. Unashamed, unwavering, immovable. The world is desperate for light bearers who know who they are. And when you stand as the chosen, you become the answer to the darkness around you. So rise, child of God. You are chosen and you are ready. Beloved, once you recognize the urgency of the hour and awaken to your identity as the chosen, there is one more thing you must do before you can stand in the fullness of what God has for you. You must purify and consecrate yourself now. This is the step so many neglect. Yet it is the step that unlocks the power and presence of God in your life. You cannot carry the fire of the Almighty in vessels polluted by compromise. You cannot walk in the authority of the chosen while clinging to the chains He died to break off of you. Consecration is not about perfection. It is about surrender. It is the laying down of every hidden thing, every secret sin, every weight that entangles your feet when you are called to run. So many cry out for revival, for blessing, for breakthrough, yet they hold tightly to what defiles them. But beloved, the Spirit is saying in this hour, come out from among them and be separate. This is the call to the remnant. This is the call to those who refuse to live like the world while claiming the promises of heaven. Look back to Joshua and the Israelites as they prepared to cross the Jordan into the promised land. They had wandered in the wilderness for 40 years. They had the promise, but they needed the purity to possess it. Joshua commanded the people, consecrate yourselves, for tomorrow the Lord will do wonders among you. He did not say, do what you want, live how you please, and expect miracles. Instead, consecrate yourselves. And when they did, the waters parted, the walls of Jericho fell, and they stepped into the inheritance prepared for them. Do you see it, beloved? There are things in your life right now that must be laid at the feet of Jesus before July 1, 2025. What secret places of your heart have you kept locked away from Him? What habits, what bitterness, what hidden sin do you still cling to in the shadows? The hour is too late for halfway surrender. The call is too holy for half-hearted devotion. Heaven is looking for vessels that are pure, hearts that are undivided, minds that are set apart. Think of King David, a man after God's own heart, yet even he stumbled and fell when sin crept in. But what set David apart was not that he was perfect, it was that he was quick to repent. He tore his garments, fell to his face, and cried out, create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. And the Lord restored him, because David understood that God desires truth in the inward parts. So must it be with you, chosen one. Do not hide from the light, run into it. Lay down your pride, your secret sins, your hidden idols. Let Him cleanse you, let Him refine you, let Him make you ready. The harvest is great, but the vessels must be pure. Before July 1, 2025, may you be found consecrated heart, mind, and soul, ready to carry his glory in a world that so desperately needs it. Let this be your cry. Here I am, Lord. Purify me, use me, send me, and he will. Beloved, when you have awakened to the urgency of this hour, when you know beyond all doubt that you are the chosen and you have purified and consecrated yourself before the Lord, then you must stand boldly and fear not. This is the call for the remnant in these final days. To stand when the world says bow, to speak when the world says be silent, to shine when darkness demands you hide your light. Fear is the enemy's favorite weapon because he knows that a fearful child of God is a silent one, a hidden one, an ineffective one. But the Spirit of God within you is not a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. Understand this. Fear will always come knocking at the door of the chosen, but it does not have to be given a seat at the table. The early church did not stand boldly because they were stronger than you or me. They stood because they knew the one who stood with them. And the same Lion of Judah who roared in the face of death for them is roaring in your spirit now. You must decide, will you bow to the fear of man, or will you bow only to the fear of the Lord? Look at Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, young men standing in the heart of Babylon. The king's decree was clear: bow down to the golden image or burn. It would have been easy to justify compromise. Everyone else was doing it. They could have bowed outwardly, but kept their hearts pure inwardly. But they refused. They stood in the face of the most powerful king on earth and declared, "We will not bow." And when they were thrown into the fire, they did not stand alone. The Son of God stood with them in the flames. The fire did not consume them, it consumed their chains. This is what happens when the chosen stand boldly and fear not. The very fire the enemy uses to destroy you becomes the fire that purifies you and sets you free. The world may hate you for your stand. They may call you foolish, outdated, intolerant, but heaven calls you faithful. Hell trembles when you stand unafraid. The enemy loses ground every time a child of God refuses to be silenced by fear. So let your faith be louder than your fear. Let your voice echo truth into the darkness. When you are mocked, bless. When you are persecuted, rejoice. When you are threatened, pray for boldness to speak even more. Before July 1, 2025, may you be found standing, not cowering in the shadows, but on the front lines, shining like a city on a hill that cannot be hidden. Fear will come, but it must bow to the King who lives in you. Stand like Daniel before the lions. Stand like Esther before the king. Stand like Peter before the Sanhedrin. Stand like Jesus before the cross. For when you stand in holy boldness, all of heaven stands with you. This is your hour. Be strong and courageous. The world needs to see what the fearless chosen ones look like. Let that be you. Beloved, when you have heard the urgency, embraced your identity as the chosen, purified yourself, and stood boldly without fear, there is one final charge. You must arise and possess the promise. It is not enough to simply believe the promise or to speak about it. You must step into it and take hold of it with unwavering faith. Too many of God's people stand at the edge of their destiny, looking across the river at the land flowing with milk and honey, yet they never cross over. They talk of miracles but never see them because they will not move their feet. They dream of victory but never fight the giants that stand in their way. But you, chosen one, you are called to be different. The promises of God are not for the faint-hearted or the idle. They are for those who move in faith, who trust that the one who spoke the word is faithful to perform it. To possess the promise means to lay hold of it when every voice says it's impossible. It means to keep declaring what God said even when the report says otherwise. It means to stand in the face of giants, walls, and armies, knowing that greater is he who is in you than he who is in the world. Remember Caleb. When the spies went into the promised land, 10 came back with fear and doubt. But Caleb silenced the crowd and said, "Let us go up at once and take possession, for we are well able to overcome it." The others saw giants. Caleb saw God's faithfulness. He held on to that promise for 45 years, while an entire generation died in the wilderness. And when his time came at 85 years old, he said, "Give me this mountain." And he took it. He did not allow age, delay, or the strength of the enemy to steal what God had spoken. So must it be with you. Some promises over your life have grown dusty on the shelf because fear, delay, or disappointment told you they were impossible. But the Lord says, "Arise and possess the promise. Speak to the mountains that stand in your way and command them to move. Drive out the giants of doubt, sin, and fear that try to occupy your territory." This is not the hour for passive faith. This is the hour for bold, active, mountain-moving faith. What has God spoken over your family, your calling, your city, your generation? Do not stand at a distance and merely hope. Step in, pray like you've never prayed, fast if you must. Declare his word until it becomes your reality. Before July 1, 2025, may you not be found standing at the border of promise, but walking in it, living in it, harvesting the fruit of it. This is your inheritance, but it will not possess itself. You must rise, chosen one. The same God who parted the Jordan, who toppled Jericho's walls, who strengthened Caleb's bones, stands ready to fight for you. Take courage, take action, take the promise. Heaven is watching, and all creation longs to see the sons and daughters of God arise and lay hold of every word he has spoken. May you be counted among them. Beloved, this is the hour of decision. Heaven records what you do with what you've heard. You were chosen before the foundations of the world, but you must choose to stand. Awaken from your slumber, rise from your ashes, shake off your chains. Before July 1st, 2025, may you be found ready. May your lamp be burning. May your faith be unshakable. May you hear the voice of the Master saying, "Well done, good and faithful servant." This is your moment. This is your clarion call. This is your destiny. Stand, O chosen ones, for the time is now.